Today is the day of finishing projects. Finish assembling the Ultimax sub, fix my 2000Xs, and now we're on to another project which I dreamed up when I got the Jotunheim here. Because the Jotunheim has a standard 3-pin 1/4 inch and it's got 4-pin XLR. And there's a benefit to 4-pin XLR. You see, when you use this, that bottom ring there, the thick one, that's ground for both left and right. So left and right, the wires come together and you get ground that is shared. But with XLR, and when you have a completely separate left and right amplifier and a completely separate left and right DAC, which this does, or inputs for your left, then everything is separate. Everything is separated. And there's a benefit to that. I bought the cable for my HD600s. That's 4-pin, because then you can plug left and right into my left and right of my 600s, and you can hear a difference between that and the other cable. There's something there. It's wider. It's more defined. Yes, there is a benefit. All right, but that wire I bought for my HD600s cost $72 from eBay. That was the cheapest one. That was a Chinese special from eBay. Really good quality, but it's like I can't afford for every pair of headphones I'm going to buy in the future to buy a $70 fucking headphone. So, little wheels are turning in my head, and this will only work on headphones I either modify or that already have the left and right terminals defined on the cup. So here, this has left and right. So therefore, making it a 4-pin was easy for this company. But if I wanted to do my X1's plug in on one side with a 3.5mm, and then the left is taken, and then the right is sent over, and it's sent here. So the only way I can make this into a 4-pin is if I open this up and fucked with it in there, and then separated what goes to that side and what comes to this side, and then put 2 connectors basically on this side, or completely ignored that, open this side up, cut the wires and put another connector on this side. That's work. We're talking about work. But for other headphones, other than this, there's things like the 1000Xs there, no, 1000, the HE1000s. I've got the ZMFs here. They're individual left and right, so they're all easy. And now my 2000Xs, which I just converted, and I put in my bedroom because they were playing music. So now my 2000Xs, come on out babies, are swapped over to left and right or individual plugs instead of a fixed wire. So if I wanted to use my 2000Xs here on the Jotunheim with a balanced input, I can now do it. And I actually have the cable, because the Hi-Fi Min HE1000s use the 2.5mm like I put in this. But I'm gonna have to send that cable back because it's going back with the HE1000s. So now what am I gonna do? Am I gonna go out and find another $150 goddamn balanced cable? No, I'm not stupid. I'm a little stupid. And I'm also very cheap. Doesn't matter what you have. If you're cheap, you're cheap. And that lives with you forever. So what I'm gonna do, okay, you could build your own cables, Zeos. Zeos, just build your own cables. Yes and no. What I'm gonna do, instead of building a specific cable with one of these heads and then the 2.5mm, here are the males, what I'm gonna do is a breakout box for 4-pin XLR balanced. And what do you mean by a breakout box? Well, here, I'll show you. So I have the 4-pin plug. These were cheap. Goes in there. Right? Good. All right. And I have these. So I could just solder a wire from here to there. But then I thought about it. What if I took that connector and broke that up into 2 1/4 inch males? Mono each side. So then I'll have a plug in here that goes into a box, and the box will output 1/4 inch male. So what does that benefit? What's the benefit of that? The benefit of that, honey, is you could buy wires like this for dimes on the dollar. I wouldn't say pennies on the dollar, but dimes on the dollar over what you'd get for a replacement headphone cable, and then modify them. So here is, it's just a patch cable. It's a 1/4 inch male patch cable. And this company comes in multiple colors, and I bought a couple other ones, but they're a little bit thick and they come with right angles. Here's one, look at the quality of this. They all come rolled up, none of that bent bullshit. Here's another one. Let's bring them all inside, come on. Come with me. Come, yes, good, he's good. So let's see, I got 3 different types. And I'll link to all 3 of these in the description. I got the right angle one because I wanted to see it, and because it's got this, look at this. Look at that wire. Then you got this one, which is more of a standard microphone cable, just in color. And this one with the gold, the U green. And this is a little bit, like, you can feel it's sharp. But okay, so now what do you do with this patch cable? Well, I bought 10-foot patch cables. And if you take a 10-foot patch cable and you cut it in half, you get 2 5-foot patch cables, or you get 2 5-foot ends that you could solder these onto. That's my intention. My intention is to have a breakout box right here. It's going to go 4-pin balanced into it. It's going to be split into 2 1/4 inch males, and then you're going to take your headphones. In my case, I'm mostly going to be changing everything over to 1/8 inch. I'm sorry, well, 1/8 inches, 3.5 millimeter, 2.5 millimeter monos. They're just going to plug right in there, and the other end of this is going to be a standard cable like this. And I'm actually saving the yellow one. I wanted to save the yellow one for my HC600s when I make my own. And you're just going to get a full pair of cables that come out and go to your headphones. The question is, what will fit in this adapter, in these connectors, because they're brand new and they're really tiny. It's a simple ground hot. I got the schematic up there. Does this come out? Yeah, there's the shield. There's the shield. Here's the spring, which I'm hoping I could use the spring, but it's gonna be real close. Screw it, these wires are so cheap I could just make another one in any color I want. So for this purpose of this breakout box, and I'm not sure if my camera's gonna hold up because I just did so many videos, what do I gotta do? I gotta drill 3 holes. 2 holes in the fascia to fit, and I bought 2 different types of 1/4 inch because they were cheap. They're like $5 for the 2. And I'm like, all right, which one works better? And I got the Switchcrafts here, which I think are the ones I'm going to use. I just got to figure out what size hole and then pop these on my drill press and go pop, pop, and then assemble it and come back and show you, which I'll use the time while I'm doing that right now to charge the GoPro, so we should be good. So hold on. Zeosception. All right. I didn't bother with the drill press because I found I had the titanium step bit and I needed a 1/2 inch hole anyway. Actually, I went 1 step below a 1/2 inch hole. This way it fits like this. Perfect. And the back, that's exactly the size. And I was gonna do a grommet, but it's aluminum and it didn't, I put it in here and I gave it a little bit of like abuse, like, what if I got fucked up like this? And there's not even any marring on that, so that's fine. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna disassemble the front, because I assembled it and drilled it in the box form, which is way easier than trying to drill just a plate. Where's my magnet that I had? I need you back, baby. I need you back. Oh, that one too. I shouldn't have to take the back of the box off. I'm just gonna shove that pink wire through. Okay, so here's our fascia. A couple strands of aluminum, which is terrifying, by the way, because you can't pick it up with a magnet. So I'm going to use the Switchcraft switches, which go pretty far into the box. That's fine. Well, they have washers. They have these nice fascia washers. I shouldn't have to do anything lock washery. Come on. 200 miles of thread. 200 miles of thread. I'm killing myself before I get there because I fucking hate it. That's how that goes, right? Good. Crank this down a little bit more. All right, good enough. Oh, God damn it. Keep forgetting that washer. So now, it actually came out pretty straight. Measured millimeters for something this small, that's I was never a fan of the metric system because obviously I'm American. And the metric system is from communism. Goddamn communists. At least that's what I was taught through many years of schooling. Okay, close. Trying to get this hand tightened anymore. $100 hates at the metric system. $100 hates at the metric. Get the British to call it a pint because they are American. Okay. Now I could actually find the exact halfway point because I have those two things there. Gotta offset it. This is just a very micro coaxial. So that'll be interesting to play with later. So, take those off. Soldering iron's warmed up, or actually it's been warmed up for like 40 minutes, and I hate doing that. It kills the needle, especially when it's got bullshit on it. Now, if you've never soldered, it's a real simple process. It's just melting metal to hold metal. Gotta feed this through here before I strip it. So I'm leaving 1/2 out, and that's going to go to the 4-pin, and leaving 1/2 in, and that's going to get stripped and be put to this right here. Strippers. Actually, I have that, and here's my strippers. Son of a bitch. I can get a little bit more. Actually, see, what I should do is I should tie a knot in this so that you pull it back, and it's sort of just, that's as far out as it goes. So how far out do I want it to go? Right around here I want that knot. This is microphone wire, by the way, 4-pole microphone wire. So this should not affect it. It's just gonna make it annoying. So now when I pull it this way, that gives me plenty of room to wire, and actually more than enough room to wire. Yeah. You're just gonna chomp on it, basically. Chomp. Not cut through, just damage it in a circular manner, and then bend. There you go, you should be able to pull it off. Now this comes with a giant ground on the outside, which is just exposed copper that floats there. And then we've got, and we'll twist this out of the way because it is literally in the way. You could cut it off almost. I'm not gonna ground it to the case, so I'm probably gonna got it. I could ground it to the other end of the 4-pin. Here's the 4-pin, by the way, which diagram's still up on screen. And that's for the female end. So I have to imagine it like that, which should be perfect. This is how the pins are aimed when you're looking at the connection surface of the female XLR jack. So the pins are reversed for the male plug, so that's looking like that. So left side is right, right side is left. It's all gonna work, I hope. As long as I stay consistent, it should work. So now we keep going. This is some paper around here. And that's just gonna peel off. And then we got all these nice pieces of string, which is what keeps the microphone cable strong, which is why I can tie a knot in it. I'm just gonna give those a little trim. And now we're left with this heavy ass ground and 4 conductor, and of course I missed 2 strings. My right angle dikes. So we've got black, red, blue, and clear. To follow my consistency theory, I'm going to keep red and black as right, and I'll make blue ground and clear hot on left. And then this is just separate. So now on this, we got to do some prep work. I need to figure out what I'm doing. That'll be good. Just gonna take a sample, a coarse sample of that. And I'm gonna touch it to here, our 2 center contacts, and then our ground. Now this is designed for like a massive wire. Actually, I gotta do it up here because I'm gonna probably solder it well up there. Not here. Just give it a little rub. It should look a little pink. This will burn off immediately, and then you clean your screwdriver, and don't eat this stuff. It's cancerous. That's for that end. This is for that end. This is for that end, and this is for that end. I might chop that and redo it, just 'cause it'll be easier to get it all in line. For this, we're just stopping in the box. And I might move this knot up a bit, but I've already committed. I'm committed. I need to strip these though, and that's going to require my strippers again. What gauge are we thinking this is? Try with the larger one first. No. No. There we go. 24. And I'm just going to tin these. Which involves a little bit of that. Just touch them there, give them a little love. Get our solder over here. Make sure there's got a lot of solder on there so we don't have to add to anything else. And now we could tin the connectors. Basically solder on there, solder on here. Nice little ring of it. That smoke is just appalling. I'll fill in that hole actually. Nice big pool of it. And where we put the red shit down, the flux down, solder sticks. Of all the things. And here's our little feet for that. That'll be later. So now we're just going to take, and I guess left and right doesn't matter until I've defined it. But we'll do the ground first. Do I have enough space here? I should have enough. These are the ones we're using for hot. These are the ones we're using for ground. just because it's easier. Okay. Make sure your tools are all over the hot irons wire so that things get all fucked up. Ready? We're going to touch down here. We're going to melt the pool, and you're going to melt what's on the wire, and it's going to go... It's eventually going to... I might need my helping hands for this. It's just being a dick. Or I could do that. That's much better. Come on. Okay, there's one. Let's give this a little bend. There's two. Now holding the actual little baby wire, that means you're probably going to get a little burn in your hand. So stop being a bitch. Pull this other shit out of the way. Important thing is that the wire is ready to fall down on top of your... We're going to melt the pool. We're going to throw it in the pool and done. Melt pool, throw in pool, done. So that's that. I don't want to touch this ground to anything. I mean, if I leave it just exposed like that, it's going to ground the box, which I guess is proper. Now, the knot's going to keep that from... The knot is hitting there, so the rest of this is just a matter of shoving it in place without it ruining everything. Is that going to work? Or did I put the knot too far forward? My OCD is kicking in. So if the knot's too far, man, you gotta fix the knot, man. Hey, man, what are you doing with that knot, bro? So here we go. Okay. Now the knot is more along the lines of where it should be, which is right at the connections. And since it's micro-ohm cable, it just straightened right out. That's the right side. So is there a better side to this box that doesn't have like a mar in it or anything? That's just dirt. That doesn't really count. Oh, before we can't see it. Yeah. Just a little baby red mark that says this is the right side, you jackass. All right, there. Hold. That's tight. And I still got that much wiggle room. Perfect. Sharp screw on tough magnet. TCB or PA. I don't know what that means. It's a song that comes on my Spotify radio. Okay. Mostly tight. Came with an extra screw, which was nice of them. I give you 5. Ooh, crap. This project box has these. Do I want these? Can I even get them on? I can't even get them on. They were little rings that went around there. I guess it's not... It's more like a fashion statement than anything else. Do I want those? I could put them on the outside like that. I mean, I could pull this one out because that's easy enough. Yeah, I could do this. All right. Yep. Yep. Before I get too far into this and I commit, I actually did like those little things. So pulling it by the soldered ends, not smart, but we're checking it. See, Zeos, forget everything he's doing and screw up and redo it 6 times. Just like real life, ladies and gentlemen. No supercuts here. So I could probably get that through there. So this just goes on like that. And then if I can get this back through the hole without destroying it. Actually, where's that drill bit? There's some burrs I can just... Wooden pencil. Put it in here, spin it. Put it in here, spin it. It'll remove any burrs directly. It'll stick to the wood. Well, I gotta take this out completely. I gotta do this one here. Then this one. Then this one. And then this. Nice. Nice. Okay. Reassemble, Stephanie. Alright, put this one on backwards. Cocksucker. Maybe the camera's not recording. Nope, it's totally recording. Pay attention. Always pay attention. Okay, so there's one. This is all bullshit. No one needs to see this. My connections are still good. The ground wire is going to hit. That's fine. That falls into place. I could screw this in, actually. Does she magnet? She does magnet. Yep, scratching the fucking shit out of my project box. Because I'm dumb. Oh! We'll leave the soldering iron alone. We're going to use it again in a second. Now the back side. Now this way. And now this way. There's a little thing where the screws sit. Actually, someone could link a Spotify playlist of copyright-free music. Something that lets me play music during these videos. That would be cool. Probably just look one up real quick if I had Spotify on that laptop or my home theater PC. Do I not have Spotify on my home theater PC? Why? That fixes your magnetism problem right there. I'd say this is 80% done now. And I borrowed this wire from my friend. He had a big spool of it. All he had was red. He says this is red. No, my friend. No. This is hot pink. He's lucky it was hot pink. I wouldn't have done it if it was. All right, pop these feet on here real quick. Just so I know top to bottom, left to right without guessing. Absorb all the vibrations so it doesn't affect the headphone. Alright, so that's going to sit on desk. I'll probably just color that whole thing in red with a marker because the fuck. I like bright color indicators that say this is the fucking right. Actually, I did it to this. Red and blue. So I'm going to look for these faded goddamn R's and shit. Blue or it's red. That's why those Denons got such high praise. Now, here comes the interesting part. So I got to put all this stuff on the wire first, which I'm not sure I'm going to be able to do without workshopping it again. All right, so this is the very back. That's fine. And now this has to open up like the jaws of death. At some point, I'll squeeze it in the side. Come on. Okay, and that's there. So that's the very back. That's the wire grab. And we solder this on, and this just screws on afterwards. Right? Right. So, all right, we're ready to go. I just got to decide how I'm attacking this. And I'm going to look at that again. I'm going to go, This is how the pins are arranged when you're looking at the connection surface of a female. So you're looking at, I'm assuming the connection surface is this. So this. I'm looking at this connection surface of a female. And the way that is right ground. So looking at it like this, look at that's going to be, this is right ground here. Again, we're going to get to the magic markers. So it's right ground, right signal. I'm just going to touch this with a red there, and then left signal up here. And I know at least which side is which. So I've indicated the right hot and the left hot. Now, we're going to do the same thing. I will use the end of the thing to just gently, now this has a hole for sticking the wire inside of, which is nice of them. I've never soldered one of these, and I'm going to put that ground on here, even though it probably doesn't make a goddamn bit of difference. Tin the ground. Tin all the pins. By the way, the pins are getting hot as I do this. Oh shit. Yeah. That's toasty. Even for a split second. Wow. Try to hold it by the plastic now. It's got a big clump of solder. It doesn't need to be there. Ah! Blow my hands off. Just blow my hands off. Someone said you're not supposed to blow solder because it could actually harden it too fast and it won't be shiny, and that means it could crack or do other bad things. So, noted. Not blowing on solder anymore. Unless someone's just making shit up and posting it in the comments on my YouTube channel, which would be fucked up. That's fucked up if you do that. I'm trolling you, bro. Alright, now I don't have to make these very long. I'm going to strip as an 1/8 of an inch, maybe. Actually, I should. Let me get this out of the way, because this thing is... How long is this going to have to be to touch? To touch. Okay, I can cut off this much of this. Little piles of absolute death. Get that nice and on there. Actually, we've got a lot of solder on here I just added. Just tinning this a bit so it doesn't kill me. Okay. I could actually solder that on first and have it act as an anchor and hold us all together. That wouldn't be the worst thing I've ever done. I'm just trying to manipulate that because this is, I feel like I want this to be like that and it's just not there, so I'm just going to rotate this until it feels correct. You know what? I should have had this out beginning of this job. TCB. I don't know what it is about this chair, but every time I sit down, my pockets end up on the armrests. Okay, where's my little notch? There's a little notch cut out, so it can grab circular things. I want it the other way, really. Actually, let me get the ground on, and then I'll rotate. Melt the pool, throw the kids in the pool, let the pool harden. That's now attached. So now I'm looking at, I'm working upside down and backwards from that because I need to have them facing Rotate image 180 degrees. Boom. God bless image zoom. 1, 2. All right, let's strip. Yeah, barely anything. You're plucking a nose hair out. Oof. Make sure the wire doesn't end up on any other part of this before you do that, or else you're just gonna have a bad time. All right. Oh, for a touch. You basically just have to touch that stuff and it works. Let's clean the front of this off because it's made a bit of a mess. Fresh solder. Touch, 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 touch. All right, there's solder on these now, and there's solder on this connector. And how do I want to approach this? In what vector? Just don't work with the soldering iron in your hand either. Bad news. Now I've got the red mark there. Remember that red mark I did? So that's the hot for the red. So I actually don't even need to look at that drawing on the screen anymore. I wish I could cut these back a little more. Bend this out of the way. All right. Come with me, German tool, to a land of constant sorrow. Just melt the pool. Stick it in the hole. Yeah, so I melt the pool, and that hole. Look at the. I melt the pool, and that little hole opens up, and I just shove the wire in the hole, and then it pulls around it. Not Deadpool. Two. Precision German instrument. So now I need to reverse these. I got to put the ground here. All capable TV repairmen can pop. Come on, go in the hole. Oh, there it is. All right, close it back up. I'm gonna rotate this for the last one because it's very far away. Always work where you're comfortable. Doesn't matter if it takes longer. Anyone tries to rush you in a solder job, just tell them to go to hell. Oh, really? Oh, well, why don't you suck my ass and go to hell? Because I ain't rushing. In. That's done. So now, this should come up as a notch for the ground terminal. Oh, it's warm pins. So there's that. I actually had a split. I don't know why I wasn't paying attention to that. Okay, so that's our guard, and that's going to grab the wires hopefully, or that to keep it from getting fucked up when we tighten this down, which we're doing right now. So bring this in, keep it centered. Wow, what is that doing? Well, maybe I gotta. This has a notch way. There. This is a notch way. Those two notch ways? Two notch ways. Like that. Like that. And so there we are. That's now where it belongs. That's now where it belongs. And now this is going to screw on and squeeze the wire. Perfect. Except that it's fucking pink. And I could have made this even shorter, but I think I don't mind having this be a little bit like that. So much little metal pieces just to get on my floor and in my socks. If you have a workroom very far from your living quarters, I suggest you use it. I don't. I mean, I can go in there, but still walk around in socks in there. So now this is ready for a test. This should be a functioning unit, and the only way I can think of testing it is to strap these things on, plug them into high-FM and HE1000s, and see what blows up. Or I'll plug them into my 2000Xs first. And if I'm gonna do, I've committed to the 2.5mm now. I bought like 10 of these. So let's put those out. Okay. We're gonna use the yellow one because I think it's the easiest wire to work with. I'm just going to take a random stab at how far back I have to strip this, because I honestly don't know. When you're cutting through the insulation, not through the wire, abuse it a little bit. So now let's peel this away. Now this is our ground. So the ground is just around the whole thing, or the shield is what we should be calling it. Did I cut one way longer than the other? Eh, barely. That'll get fixed in post. Twist, twist, twist. So now that we have the ground away and twisted, we have to get in to the center. So that's going to require the strippers again now. I'm going to start with the largest one we've got. So it's a black outer casing, then there's a clear inner casing that's even smaller than that. So let's keep going. Wiggle. Nope. Smaller than that. Wiggle. There we go. And there is our main lead of copper. So now these, the center attaches there. Boom. This attaches back here. So I can cut off a good deal. But I want, now the back of this connector here has these little prong son of bitches that are supposed to grab this, but this is so thick it's probably not going to work. I also need to get the heat shrink over it, which is this stuff, which does fit, and this, how does this go on? This has to go in here, so this should be on first. This is the most important. I'm doing this thing sort of out of order. So here's our actual, well, that's a tight fit. I might do this with no strain reliefs. Well, there's our two terminals, and they're going to end up falling all the way to the other side of creation because why not? So I'm not going to bother with the strain reliefs, these cool gold strain reliefs, because it's so fucking tight. But I can get these heat shrink. I believe this is heat shrink. And so watch out when you stab yourself in the eye. Put this here. Just barely fits. So fucking tight. Oh, baby, so tight. We're just going to slide these back up once we're done soldering, and that'll keep it from grounding out on the actual casing. So those don't have to slide very far. I just don't want them messing with my grip. Okay. So that's exposed, and that's exposed, and that's exposed, and this one's not. So we got to do it twice. We got to do the biggest one. Wiggle. Pull, and then that one. TCB PIA. Now I stripped that one way far back. So let's at least match them. And then we could always cut the copper down. There's that. There's that. Time to grin and tin, mofo. Grin and tin. Actually, these are way too long. If I could tin them and then cut them down, or I can cut them down and then tin them. So let's do that. Just the hots for now. Touch. Load. Touch. Touch. Don't blow on it. Not like I just did. So now those are going to seat here. Damn, I got to cut them even shorter. Right. I got to drop it on the floor. So I'm not doing math in my head. These are real tiny. These are tiny. And I'm expecting it to be like, oh, I have plenty of room. But if I want to get this, this is basically going to go through here, look. And that has to go right there. So I got to cut these down even more. What I just tinned is useless. So I'm going to cut these down a bit, just because they're in the way. And I'm going to restrip this even further. I'm going to try to do the math on this. There. It's real close. Like an 1/8 of an inch. Is going to be too much almost. And now that you've soldered it, of course, it's going to be a pain in the ass. And look, it even left the soldery tip. So do that. I could trim these down. It's like getting your nails done, ladies. Still have enough on there? Yes, I do. I have to still go over that with solder and flux. But this is basically going to fall through the hole, and then this is going to clip right there. It's going to be beautiful. Oh, it's going to be gorgeous. I wish this was a little bit wider. I have to bend this down to attach it. All right, let's work with one at a time. I've got two in my hands because, well, efficiency. Take you back out. You're not going to grab this, are you? You're going to get down small enough? Yeah, you will. All right. You're done. Stay. Oh, I might have just got like 19 pieces of metal in my hand. Most of you won't be filming this, so you'll be fine. Oh, I totally did get a piece of metal in my hand. Right there. Alright, don't do that. And God bless Germans. Nipex, man. Try grabbing that with these. It would not have happened. 1, 2. Just a little bit. You don't want to make it bulk up. It'll never fit through the hole again. Yeah, that's got to fit through that hole. And you know, I really got to strip these back even more. I don't want to do it, but I got to do it. It's because it's not going to fit. It's expecting a smaller wire. Let's do the same. Straighten. I shouldn't need to retin those at least. Nice and thin, nice and thin, nice and thin. Thin. Now, let's loosen this up while we tin. I'm going to bring the wire through this side, attach it here. So that means I need to just give it a touch. Look at that. Anything you want solder to stick to, just massage it. How do I want to attack this? All right, I guess I'm just going to tin this right now. I bought this solder station. Puddle there. There's a little baby puddle. It'll be fine. A little baby puddle. I've closed the hole up. That's not right, but it'll work still. I'm just gonna have to melt it, then pop this through, which is what I'm gonna do right now. Where's my hole? Where is it? There it is. I should have flattened this out. Now I've stuck myself. Hot. Hot. 2-plier. It's a 2-plier job. I'm gonna open this little thing up because that's where we're gonna grab the outside shield wire. I just flatten that with this. Too much solder. You kill us all, Steven. Kill us all. You're watching a man fail on camera, live on camera. So let's thin this out. Now I should be able to flex this into place. Bet your ass the next one's gonna be perfect, though. That's what it comes down to. You gotta fuck up the first one. You just gotta sit there and go, oh, I should have done this. Oh, I should have done this. And hopefully you're making more than one. And this way, you fix it next time around. All right. So we're back to this problem where I closed up that hole. Which one was I working with? Obviously this one. I'm gonna touch the bottom of it. It should melt the solder. I should be able to find the hole. Push it all the way down. That's perfect. Straighten out my hot lead. Reach it on in there like that. Where's my screwdriver? Push it against the pool. Do I have any on here? Add a little bit to the tip. Done. Okay. Let's see what we're looking at. So we're through here. So I can nip off the extra. Leave a little bit, obviously. And now I'm going to take my pliers and I'm going to squeeze the shit out of this here and here. I'm trying to get that back into it from a flat to a C shape. C stands for there. Squeezy, squeezy, lemon squeezy. So there, that'll just stab into the, I'm assuming this is a silicone outer. Now the fun part comes, where this, I try to get this clear heat shrink up, but there's no fucking way, because it barely fits over the outside. So let's see, how's that gonna work? I'd have to abuse, oh man, it's such a, I gotta nip exit more. Nip it more. And then I gotta squeeze it more. And then maybe I can get it over here. She's not sliding. She's over it. She's just not sliding. She's anti-slide. It's actually tearing the clear. Damn it. I may have to get my own heat shrink. Alright, pause for a second. I went and got my heat shrink, and I'd have to use a giant piece, which isn't going to really shrink down far enough, I don't think. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut the clear sleeve and slide it up, and then just make sure it's in place. There it is. Because all this has to do is insulate the metal. So as long as it's over there, we should be good. Besides, I still have to figure out if this is going to fit over everything now that I've got it on. And once I finish this one, I'm going to stop the recorder and do the other one, because this took way too long. It just needs, I may have to cut away some of this shield because it's just such a thick wire. It is not going in for its intended purpose. I may have to clip this actual whole section off. In fact, that would make my life much easier if the wire grab wasn't actually attached to it anymore. Can I do it without destroying my work? Ow. Look at that. Both pieces landed right on my lap and I have to go dig them off the floor. Alright. Now that clear tube would have slid up. But here it is in my hand anyway. You're going to go here. And you're going to come up. And you're going to go over. So now because it doesn't have the thing grabbing the wire, this could get yanked and damage itself. But who cares? At this point, I'm just getting it working. Let me finish the other one. I wish there was a timestamp on the video because this side took 78 seconds to complete. Because I preemptively nipped off half of that C-clamp for the wire, and I put it in the thing, and I'm like, oh, just do it, and it's done. So now we have a first pair of wires. And what I have to do, which I should have thought about, is get the Jotunheim hooked up. So let's get the Jotunheim hooked up, because that's the only way I could test. Where are my USB cables? Looking for USB cables. Here we go. No. That's a giant one. Okay. This is $700 in USB cable. It doesn't work very well, so I'm not going to bother. On sheer principle alone. Am I that fucked up? Oh wait, I have them here. This is where the Jotunheim and everything was staying overnight. Alright, here we go. Give me one. Give me. I don't know if that one works. That was power. Here we go. That's fine. There's a good one. NFB 11 stays. I'm gonna need power for this too. God damn it! Should have got this hooked up while I paused the video. Off, away. That's been off. Trying not to destroy everything. That's where the mouse is plugged in. Of course it is. This should be already installed. The DAC will come on without power. I still need power, which means I can unplug that, and I can unplug that. Projects are fun. It's like an unboxing video where you really want to get something but you can't afford to get it, so you watch some asshole on YouTube will unbox something that you want. Well, you really want to do what I'm doing, but you're too lazy or not crazy. One of those two. Okay, so now that's there. Of course I got this mouse. Rocat sent me all this shit. Close that. I want foobar. Please detect the Jotunheim. Is Jotunheim-y? Yep. It's labeled as speakers, so let me just set it so it's not garbage. Jotunheim. Okay, apply, okay. What thing? I want to event to the Jotunheim, 32-bit, okay. It's playing. So now I'm going to test first with, I guess I'm testing with my 2000Xs, so I just fixed these. I just replaced the drivers in them. I don't have a cheap set of headphones that uses a 2.5mm. How fast I was able to detect that that's right, because it's color coded. So if I blow them up, you'll hear me weep on camera. It is recording, right? So now I'm just checking to see if the Jotunheim is outputting correctly. And of course it sounds like that. That's the DAC being gay. It's happened on the other thing too, where it comes all crackly. I think probably because it hasn't been initiated on this port yet. Okay, perfect. Fell on black days. All right, now we unplug this wire. And I will, for the first time, be listening, I guess, plug this in first. Everything should be, if nothing blows up when I plug this in, I guess that's good. Now let's plug everything up to the headphones first. This shouldn't make a difference. Smallest little red indicator. All the way down, all the way down. I'll fill in the 0, the red. That's it. Assume if one's red and one's not, then you got that. So then red to red. Left. It's these kind of projects that keep me interested in things. That's why I'm going to get back into sim racing real soon. Okay, lower that down. Please don't blow up. Please don't blow up. It's playing both channels. Yoshi Horikawa for checking left and right. That's on low gain. Oh, the imaging. Oh, that imaging. Now, oh yeah. Well, this is working. This Mad Science Hour setup is working. So now I can adapt every headphone to be 4-pin balanced, but this is a balanced breakout box into 2 1/4-inch, and I could just keep buying these wires because obviously they work. The other ones, these are nice. I like this U-green, it's the right side, but this material is just horrifying. Not meant for a headphone wire. This is, I could cut a tree down with this if I just did this around it. And these are beautiful, but they're right angle, which won't work with my thing. I mean, it will if I sit them like that. And this is a little bit thicker. I'd have to really consider it. This was a 2-pack for like 10 bucks. So now, what I just did, the end bit there with the 2.5mm getting soldered on, and I have an extra one of these because why not? Hold on a second. That's better. So now, AC/DC, Beatles, Richard Cheese, 9 Inch Nails. All right. They fit beautifully. I mean, they're bright Now the full power of the Jotunheim is available for these super efficient headphones. Let's see what high does. Oh. See, high-low gain. Gain is nothing, almost nothing to do with it, seems. Give these a little twist. Which way I gotta twist them? Oh yeah. Oof. Now I gotta break in these drivers because they're literally an hour old. But come take a picture of this. Put it on my Telegram. Maybe even tweet about it. In fact, some of you might recognize this tweet, which is about to happen. Time to do a live tweet. Oh my god, what's happening? It's a retro live tweet. Let's take the picture first. Any day now, camera. I want people need to like look and just say, what the fuck is happening here? And then they have to understand it. Let's get the right angle. How to tweet. That's good. You just want to keep, they're gonna know what it is if you cut off a bunch of it. Boom. Okay, okay. That's good. Let's load the Twitter app, which is on this side. What should I tell you guys? Retroactively in the past, because what you're watching is in the future. Twitter app. There you go. Yeah, I don't care about Felipe or Xbox. Why is Xbox here? Promoted? Oh, I hate apps. Alright, what's happening? Mad Science. Not Made Science. God damn it. Mad and has to capitalize the S. Mad Science. Our project. Dot dot dot. Complete. Not all caps. God damn it. Complete. Period. Add image. That image. Tweet. Boom. Remember, the 1st of November. Can I see my own tweet? Yes, I can. Alright, well, I enjoyed this little build, and I'm glad I've got a lot of things accomplished today. I fixed my 2000Xs. I finished the Ultimax. Haven't got the wire to power that yet, and I just put away my stuff, screw that. And yeah, let's go.